Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. I don't usually start the vlog before dinner. This is really strange for me, but I figured I would today. So yay! I'm actually gonna go upstairs and start dinner in 15 minutes or so, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've done somewhat today. This isn't all I've done today, but I've been planning out fairy tales because I'm kind of obsessed with the idea right now, and so I am planning out what things I need to read and look into more in order to do my fairy tale discussion series. And I would like to be able to put out a video about this every month on my channel, but realistically that's probably not possible, since for each fairy tale I'm probably going to have to read anywhere between 5 to 20 books to get my fill on it, which I know seems like a lot, and it is a lot to read 20 books about it, but a lot of them probably will be children's books or young adult books. They're not all going to be adult, even though some of them will be. Yeah, so I figured I'm gonna start working on that, and I was investigating one fairy tale in particular today. I'm not sure if it's the one that I want to start with, but it's one that I currently have an audiobook of a retelling of it and stuff, so I figured I would investigate it and see what I need in order to move on with that. And then I was also, after I found my huge list of books, which is 30 books for this particular fairy tale, even though about 5 to 10 of them are children's picture books. And so I ended up taking the titles and putting them into overdrive. So Chris and I, we have 4 overdrives that we can use, except for one of them is blocked right now, and I honestly don't know how to fix it. And so one of the overdrives is out of commission, unfortunately, but then the other overdrives, we have 3 that we can use. And so a lot of times they just have duplicate books, but sometimes one overdrive has something that the others don't. And so I actually made a list of some. I came up with 2, 4, 6, 7 books that I didn't already have checked out from this fairy tale that I could go and find and check out, plus one where the original fairy tale comes from, which I'd need to read as well, which this one is a Grimm's fairy tale. So I guess 8 things that I could get from the library and read technically as soon as they come in off of hold. And so that's what I did for a little bit today, and by a little bit I mean a long time, because a lot of times when authors write fairy tale retellings, they end up doing it in series. And so it's probably most of you are probably most familiar with the Lunar Chronicles, even though I haven't read any of those yet. This will push me to read them finally, but the Lunar Chronicles, the first one is the Cinderella one, the next one is a Little Red Riding Hood, and then Rapunzel, and then Snow White. And then there's actually little novellas that are some of the different ones, there's the Little Android is the Little Mermaid and things like that. And I don't know, there's some other ones as well. I don't remember what all the novella retellings are about, because I haven't even read Cinder. I read the first chapter 2 years ago and never continued on, so oh well, I have it sitting on my shelf now, so hopefully I'll be able to pick it up soon. But a lot of them are in series, and so it makes it kind of difficult, because maybe the first book in this one series is the fairy tale that I want to work on, but then maybe the 4th book in another series is the fairy tale that I want to look at, and I'm like, ugh, that means I have to read the whole series in order to catch up to it. And sometimes authors do standalone books, which is one of the series that I'm currently reading. I've read the first 2 books. One was a Cinderella, one was a Beauty and the Beast, and then the series will continue, but they're standalones, and so that's really nice, and I can just kind of read them as soon as I get them from the library, so that's good. But yeah, that's been my investigating today, and I found 30 books, and some of those I have to read other retellings first, but I actually found several Snow White and Rose Red retellings, which is strange because I wasn't looking for them, but they both happen to be first books in different series. And so I'm going to be reading some Snow White, Rose Red retellings, which I don't think I've actually read one before. I know there's one by Patricia C. Reedy, who is one of my favorites. I absolutely adore her. Enchanted Forest Chronicles. She is amazing, but she wrote a Snow White and Rose Red retelling but I never read it, and so this will push me to read that as well. But I think that would be a fun one to do. If you guys don't know what Snow White and Rose Red is, it has nothing to do with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It is a different fairy tale. I don't remember where it comes from, what country it comes from, but it's about these two sisters. One has black hair and very, very fair skin and looks like Snow White, and then the other looks like and has red lips, and she is Rose Red, sorry. And then the other one is Snow White, and she has blonde hair and also very fair skin and stuff. And so Snow White and Rose Red, and they're sisters, and they live in the forest with their mother. And then there's like a bear, and then there's like also like a gnome that keeps getting stuck different places around the woods, and they're having to free him by chopping his beard shorter and shorter because he keeps getting his long beard stuck and stuff. And so that's kind of like the basic tale, and I have read a picture book of it, but it was just really interesting. So I'm discovering lots of things and lots of fun stuff, and I found several series that I'm really, really interested in, but one of them I can't even find copies of it like anywhere. I don't know if it was physically printed, and I can't find like even Kindle copies, which is strange because usually I think it's a self-published author, and usually self-published authors you can find their Kindle books at least. She doesn't even have these Kindle books, so I don't know how I'm gonna find them, but I've like discovered some really good stuff and some really interesting things, and these books that hardly have any reviews, but every single person who read it was like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. So I'm actually really, really excited, and I think I'm going to find a lot of really cool books that I wouldn't have found otherwise, or wouldn't have gotten to in a really long time otherwise. And I think it's also going to push me to go find some of my favorite children's books, because going back to Snow White and Rose Red, there's an edition of that I read when I was growing up that is beautiful and amazing and I love. I have no idea who it's by. I'm sure I could find it very easily, but it'll push me to go do that, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm making lists on my Goodreads shelves of different fairy tales, and so far the fairy tales that have intertwined in series and stuff that I've found just by looking for a little bit today, it was Rapunzel and Snow White and Rose Red, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, 12 Dancing Princesses. I think there's a few more, so there's a lot of really crazy intertwining series, and it's going to be interesting pulling them apart, but that's also why I'm not going to be able to like stick a video up every month, I don't think, so we'll have to see how this goes. But I'm already having a lot of fun just discovering these, and I'm rereading a book right now that I read years ago that I don't really remember, and that I don't really remember liking that much, so hopefully I like it better this time.
We got moved again. Now we're in this lovely cramped room that is our set shop, but it's closed as a set shop for now because the studio out there is being worked on, and we get to sit in here and hear the lovely noises and sounds of walls coming down and floors coming up. That's where the kitchen used to be, and that's where my desk used to be. This is so freaking weird. Also, I wanted to show you the book collection that the studio has that they use as props. There's not really like anything specific that I wanted to show you except for these. They have A through F of the drop caps editions, which is pretty awesome, except for I feel like it's such a waste. I just want to take them and use them and have them at home because they don't even use them. They don't read them. They just use them for props. Actually, I've never even seen them use them for props before. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in a shop before. I'm sure they have been, but I don't remember it. But I showed these to Giselle. I took a picture and sent them to her, and she was very sad that they have them and don't use them, and we don't have them. We're at the thrift store again.
It's Chris's idea.
Where are you?
It wasn't me. He was the one that said, Giselle, can we please go? And I was like, okay. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, I totally dragged her here. I mostly just wanted to come to see if they had the first book in that Louise Penny series that I got. The other like 5 out of the first 6. So there's like 11 books in that series actually. I looked it up and I got like the first 6 except for the very first book, and I really wanted to come and see if they had it here. It was a long shot, I know, but I really wanted to come and see if they had it here. They did not, but I did find, well, last time we came here, this is the other Savers, by the way, the Savers that we first got introduced to not too long ago, and they had this here, Cloud Atlas, it's like super damaged, like rips and stuff. I saw that last time we were here, and this time they have a very, very nice new copy that's in pretty dang good condition, so I think I'm definitely going to get that. I don't know if I want to get this or not, but it's a Handmaid's Tale. It's kind of messed up. It has quite a lot of marks on it and stuff, but then I found this. It's called Morality Play by Barry Unsworth, and I thought it sounded interesting. It was apparently shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize, and it's a medieval murder mystery set in the 14th century, which I think it sounds pretty awesome, so I think I'm going to get that too. I think I've looked at everything else. I think it's all about all that I'm interested in here. Have you found anything, Giselle? Children's books.
Yeah, look, they have Flopsy bunnies, so some Beatrix Potter
I think
stuff.
I read that.
This is not her illustrations. It's cute though.
I think these books are over here are hers as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
These are the ones that she's looking at. She's trying to find lots and lots of fairy tale retellings. Oh, you got some Piers Anthony.
Yeah.
I did see those. Those are, I just looked these up actually. This is pretty soon. This one is pretty soon in the order, but I don't know exactly where they are.
The ogre one is the 7th one, and the other one's the 6th one, or
Okay.
the 6th and the 5th. I don't know, it's something like that, or the 5th and the 4th. Like they're really far out there.
And then she found, the only one that I'm also really interested in is Joan DeVinge's Dreamfall, which just looks pretty awesome. That is a great cover. The Snow Queen by her yet, but we're hoping. I'm so glad I went to film something when I did, because I almost left the camera in a random place near the books.
So this is my outfit of the day. I thought I would show you.
I really like your hair today. It looks awesome.
It was super easy. It took like 2 minutes, maybe. And that's only because I brushed my hair. And then a striped 3/4 length sleeve shirt. 3/4 lengths are my favorites. My skirt, and then my tights and my shoes were additions for when we left the house, but I was not wearing those earlier. I was just running around barefoot. It was fun. And I got this online, this at Rue 21, Target or Payless. I'm honestly not sure where I got the shoes. I think it was Payless. So, ta-da.
And I'm about to go and record stuff. I'm either going to finish Firewatch or start Wind Waker. But one of those two. I'm going to go do that. I had to go get gas though. The gas thing came on when we were driving back here.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was really fun going to their store again, even though I didn't get exactly what I wanted. But Giselle got a bunch of stuff.
I'll talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I got once Chris leaves, but goodbye, Chris. I'm gonna miss you.
Bye. You've seen enough of my face today. You don't see it anymore.
The last time I went to this particular thrift store, there's this book that I almost got, and then I decided last minute not to get it, and I figured it would be better if I didn't and stuff, even though it was only like a young adult book, and so it only would have been $1.50, but I was still like, last night I was like, I don't need it, plus like it didn't have very good ratings on Goodreads, and then within a week I regretted it so much, since I'm going to be doing videos about fairy tale retellings, and this one was a fairy tale retelling of Snow White. I was like, ah, oh, dang it, I should have gotten it, there's no chance it's still there, blah, 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 blah. And I went back and I got it. And it is Snow in Summer, and it's Fairest of Them All by Jane Yolen. And it has really low ratings on Goodreads. It has like a 3.5 or something, pretty low, but it's so pretty. Like half of it is matte and then half of it is a shiny, and I'm really happy about it. So that one was still there. And then I ended up getting 4 more books for my fairy tale retellings series, and one of them is a children's picture book of Cinderella. I flipped through this lightly while I was there, and it was so cute. And then I also got a Red Riding Hood one by Catherine Hardwicke. I didn't even look up anything about this because Red Riding Hood, I want to try reading it. I got A Kiss in Time by Alex Flynn, and then I also got A Knot in the Garden and Other Stories by Robin McKinley. This is a collection of short stories. Obviously they're very short since this book is extremely short. And this is actually one of the books that's in the top 10 books that I need to read soon. So that was really awesome finding it. I was gonna have to get it from the library, but it's really gorgeous actually. I think that's such a pretty drawing. I may be alone in thinking that, but I think it's really pretty, and I like all the small detail of all the little yellow flowers. So I got 5 books for my project, and they are all from a different fairy tale. So that's interesting. I got one for the project that I'm currently working on. I got one for the project that I want to do very soon, and then I got a couple that I'm just like not super interested in, and then I got one for a project that I also want to work on soon. I think I know what the next, like my top 5 fairy tales to work on are, and I got 3 that kind of fit into that category. So this was awesome. So I'm really, really excited about that. I just want to show you guys because I was so devastated that I didn't get that book. I was like, I'm so stupid. I should have gotten it. I should have gotten it. I should have. And then since I didn't, it was still there. So that was awesome. I also wanted to touch on real quickly that I am now 2 books ahead of schedule for my Goodreads challenge. So I'm pretty much winning at life right now. I don't know, some of the things I've been reading have been shorter or mostly fluff, but still, that's 22 things that I've completed this year so far, and only 2 of them have been comics, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. 20 books in 2.5 months. I'm really, really happy, you guys. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching today's vlog and all the vlogs and stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.